and people who just helped me celebrate hitting 4,000 subscribers. And now we're sitting here celebrating 5,000 subscribers in what feels like just a fucking couple of weeks, because hey, it is just a couple of weeks. What a long intro. Andy here. 5K, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit 5 fucking K. How wild is this? How fucking insane is this? It was literally less than a month ago that we hit 4,000. And holy shit, the channel growth has been exponential. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about this. This would be kind of a casual, chill little chat about some of the things that I've learned over this journey. But I really wasn't prepared for this fucking video. I really wasn't prepared to hit 5K. I honestly thought this was going to take another 5 months or so. So this kind of just happened out of nowhere. So this video is very unprepared. I'm not doing anything massively exciting other than wearing this silly hat, having a bit of a chat, having a bit of a hangout with you guys and girls. As I sort of showed on the screen, the growth has been absolutely insanely exponential. So this is a graph. Let's just show over the last year. So you can see it's sort of steady there for a while over the year. And then all of a sudden in the last month and a half, boing, going to the stratosphere. So I want to sort of talk about exponential growth. And sometimes you will put in a lot of effort over a long period of time. It might take you a little while before you start seeing some results. I have been working on this channel, this YouTube channel, for about roughly 4 years at this point, maybe three years of really going hardcore with it. I've had a website for about 4 years. I've had a Spotify podcast for about 4 years. And it took me about 1 year to go from 0 subs to 1,000 subs. So the first 1,000 took me about a year. The next 1,000, so to go from 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers, took me about 8 months. Then the next 1,000, to go from 2,000 to 3,000, took me 10 months. So a little bit slower than the previous 1,000. The next 1,000 took me about 5 months. And then the most recent 1,000, to get up to 5K, took me less than 1 month. And so often success and growth is completely exponential. You might have to stick at something and hustle for a long time. In my case, it took me the first 3 years to even get to 3,000 subscribers. And then the next 2,000 subscribers came in about a month and a half. Maybe a little bit longer than that, sorry, didn't it? Yeah, sorry, it took me 6 months to get that last 2,000. And so things might take a little while before they really start to pay off. In my coaching program right now, one of the guys who's a coach alongside me, Ed, a lot of you know Ed, he's now one of the coaches in the program. And he posted a graph recently of his own journey with having sex and getting more sexual experience and getting laid more. And his first year, I think he slept with something like 3 women. And he put in all this effort, and I coached him for that entire year, so I know how much effort he put in. Ed is one of the hardest working people that I know and the most consistent. He put in all this effort, and he slept with 3 women. That was kind of the payoff for all this effort. The next year, I think he slept with something like 8 women. And then this year that he's in right now, this is his 3rd year, he's already slept with 25 women and then had sexual experiences and fooled around with something like another 40 women. And so you can see how that's this exponential graph. And it really kind of mirrors my own graph. Again, to look at it, it's like a slow, gradual incline and then just boom, shooting up to the stratosphere. Especially if we look at it since, the start of the channel. And ignore over here, I technically didn't really have a channel over here. I had 0 subscribers. So I had 0 subscribers for forever. I don't think that counts. But the channel actually started somewhere around here. But as soon as I started the channel, it's slow, gradual incline and slow. And then all of a sudden, bam, straight up. And so these journeys that we're on, sometimes you might not see much of a payoff until you've been working on something for months and in some cases even years. And so for a lot of you, you're starting a new goal, or maybe you've been doing it for 6 months or a year, whether that's having more sex, getting laid, maybe it's making money, maybe it's building your social life, maybe it's losing weight, maybe it's gaining muscle. Whatever goal you might have, don't be deterred if the first year or even the first 2 years or sometimes even the first 3 years, if you're getting a little bit of a payoff, but nothing like groundbreakingly, mind-blowingly amazing. In my case, again, It took 3 years to get to 3,000 subscribers. And then the next 2,000 subscribers came within 6 months. And, this final 1,000 subscribers came within the last 28 days, which is insane. Insane. And so something else I want to sort of point out here is, depending on what the goal, but let's just talk about content creation, you can, in my case, monetize enough to pay the bills on a tiny number of subscribers, as long as you're sort of giving value, changing people's lives, helping people, and all of that. So, that's just sort of a side tangent there, but I really want to drill it into you guys and girls that some goals, the payoff may be a little bit delayed, or the payoff may be a lot smaller than what you expect. I think people get into certain goals, especially things like getting laid and definitely money, having these crazy lofty expectations, which is great. It's beautiful that you have expectations, but often we can then get disappointed if reality doesn't match up to those expectations. And I've heard so many other entrepreneurs, Alex Hormozi being a great example, but Dan Henry, lots of other people like that say, Gary Vee's another good example. They say people have these crazy expectations of, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and within 6 months I need to be paying my bills. And it's like, that is possible, but I wouldn't be expecting that. And in other words, if you make that happen, and within the first 6 months, you're earning lots of money, like, this is definitely possible. I coach guys on how to do this. I'm telling you it's possible. If you do it, that's amazing. But if you don't do it, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not that you did something wrong or stupid or bad. I had a lot of these thoughts myself in the early days. I was like, man, am I doing something wrong to have my channel be growing this slowly? And I stepped back and I was like, no, like, everybody has their own, or everybody's on their own journey. Ed, the coach in my program, says everybody lives life at their own pace. And if it's taken me this many years to get to this number of subscribers, hey, I'm going to be grateful for that. That's beautiful. And then I would just keep slowly increasing over time. So don't be deterred if some of your goals are taking a little while to pay off. As long as you're taking action every day or most days, as long as you're on that progressive path upwards, as long as you're taking those baby steps and you just don't quit, I promise you that you will get there. Your timeline might look a little different to someone else. Maybe you look over at the next person and they've done it in 6 months and you're already 1 year into this and you haven't had even 1/10 of the success as them. I get it. That's sort of my YouTube channel growth, isn't it? And so don't look at other people. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just focus on yourself and ask yourself, how can I be 1% better today? How can I be at least 1% better today? How can I improve a little bit? How can I ensure that I'm enjoying this process, that I'm grateful for this process, that I'm having fun with this shit, and not worry so much about where you aren't, like what you haven't achieved yet. Focus more on where you are, like what you have achieved. So let's talk about why the channel has done as decently as it has. Like, what in particular has worked out? A couple of things, more than anything, being way more consistent with content. If you have a look at my content, if I just sort of pick random videos, these are all the videos that are scheduled to come out. Look, you can see the date. Let me make it bigger for you guys and girls so you can see. You can see the date, 15th of August, the next one, get out. 16th of August, the next one, 17th of August, 18th of August. So in other words, what I'm showing you here is I am doing daily content now. And that is only my full videos. The shorts, I am also posting, you can see the 11th of August, 12th of August. I'm going for, and I'm not always hitting this, but I'm aiming to release one short a day as well. I'm also doing about one podcast a week. So if you're not familiar, I have a Spotify podcast as well that has like different content on it. It's the same style of content, but it's like extra content. So I'm doing about one of those every week, and I'm doing an article. If you're not familiar with my website, go to killyourinnerloser.com. I'm doing an article roughly one a month, but I think I've been doing slightly more than that. Yeah, I think it's been averaging more than once a month. It's been like, I don't know, 2 or 3 a month. So doing lots of content, that has absolutely helped. But more than that, what has really helped is doing content that, and I didn't do this intentionally, but actually that's not true. I kind of did do this intentionally. I went through my channel and I looked at my most popular videos and I had a look, and the vast majority of the most popular ones were about like BDSM. And so I said to Imogen, hey, let's like sit down and record some like high quality, really good, BDSM content and just sort of see how that goes. It seems to be really popular. It seems to be the kind of stuff that people like. So the first one we did a few different ones, but one of the first main ones we did was this one here, Femdom. So how to find a dominant woman or how to train a dominant woman if you're a submissive man or you want to explore that side of yourself. And this video did really well, 14,000 views, which is more than any other video on my channel had done. And this is beating videos that I had done like 2 or 3 years ago. And I only did this video on the 10th of April. So in just a couple of months, it outperformed videos that had been there for several years. So we thought, okay, that's cool. Like that was a fun video to do. We enjoyed that. Let's do one for the opposite. Let's do a male dom video. So how to be a male dominant. And this is the video that really blew up. So this video has done 128,000 views. And for context, before I did both of these two BDSM videos, my most watched video had 10,000 views. So this is already 12 times the view count of that. And this was only published, 2 months ago. And so sort of hitting that content that people are looking for. And it wasn't 100% intentional. Honestly, we did not expect any of these videos to blow up this much. We just thought we would start doing some BDSM content because people seem to like it. And it's the topic that I'm honestly probably the most passionate about. I really like talking about BDSM and I want to do more content on tantric sex as well. I just like talking about pleasure and how people can connect and all of that sort of stuff. So that's probably the biggest reason. You can see why this video alone, this male dom video, has brought in 937 subscribers just from that video. And wow, like a whopping $20. You can see I don't make much money from the YouTube channel. In fact, this month I've made $69 in total. I believe it's 69. Yeah, $69.49. Nice. So I don't make much from YouTube, but you can see the majority of subscribers that have come in the last month has been like literally just from that male dom video and from the femdom video. So that's been really cool. YouTube Shorts have also helped as well. I find personally, and so does Cam and a few of my coaching clients, we find that YouTube Shorts seem to get shown to new people, like people that have they've never seen your channel. And so each short that I do brings in, I don't know, like between 2 and 10 subscribers per short. So if I do a short and it does decently well, between 2 and 10 people will subscribe to the channel. So shorts and doing more content, like more consistent, and then doing the content that seems to blow up pretty well, that has really helped the channel growth. Now, one of the questions or one of the suggestions there, one of the thoughts might be, does that mean I'm going to do content that I know will do really well with the algorithm? Like, yes and no. I'm definitely going to do more BDSM content because I love talking about it. But am I ever going to do content that I don't enjoy talking about because I think that it, like if I think that it will blow up in the algorithm? Fuck no. Like, this channel has and always will be me talking about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Algorithm sort of be damned. We're not, generally speaking, particularly popular. It's a hard way of phrasing. It's maybe not the correct way of phrasing it, but like, most of our content in this community doesn't really get shown to new people because of the style of content that I'm doing, because of the topics that we're talking about, for whatever reasons. And so we've never really been, up until this point, the super hardcore, popular, clickbaity, new people coming in style of community. Anyway, I think part of the reason why a lot of you like this community and this content and, me, is because we're fairly niche. We're like a nice little tight-knit community. We feel like a brotherhood and a sisterhood. There's plenty of women watching. I think about 30% of the audience are women, if I'm correct. I can check. I can show you guys. Yeah, there you go. So 37% of the audience are female. So hello, ladies. How you doing? But I think you get the point. We're pretty tight-knit. We're a pretty like close, loving community. And so I like that vibe, and I'm obviously going to grow the channel. I'm going to do content about BDSM and stuff that I know will do pretty well in that, but I kind of like the vibe of the channel. And even if we get to a point where we have 100,000 subscribers, I want the feeling to be exactly the same. I want it to be like a brotherhood and a sisterhood of people that give a shit about each other, positive vibes only. I've talked about this a million times. I block anyone that is like overly negative, like particularly negative, or like really aggressive or like violent or rude and any of that kind of stuff, they just get like an automatic block. And obviously part of the reason for that is I want a community of like people pushing each other and helping each other and all of that kind of stuff. You can kind of like, I don't know if you guys give a shit, but what the hell, I can show you anyway. You can see like there's like people that I've blocked in here of just like negative people. I'm like pretty fucking happy to hit that block button. If you see your name in there, like hello, hi. But yeah, I'm happy to block anyone that's like just rude or like aggressive or overly negative or, you know, argumentative for the sake of it. This isn't really an argument community. We're not here to argue. We're here for growth. We're here to push each other to grow, to help each other and all of that. So yeah, I obviously enjoy talking about BDSM and stuff like that. So I keep talking about that. But yeah, another thing I'll say is I'm very grateful for all of you for being on this journey with me. Like, holy shit, the idea of 5,000 people giving enough of a shit to hit the subscribe button and the number of people that watch the channel is way higher than that. You know, you can see if I show you on the screen, the number of people that watch the channel but are not subscribed is 80%. So 80% of people that watch the video are not subscribed and only 20% are. And so, you know, there's 5,000 people that have given enough of a shit to hit subscribe, but there's many more that just watch the videos. I personally don't subscribe to many people on YouTube, but I will watch tons of different channels. I just don't hit the subscribe button. So there's a whole lot of people out there. And when I think about that, that is so unbelievably, crazily humbling. It's such a weird idea. At the start, you know, I started out this channel with obviously like 0 subscribers, but when I got to my first 100 subscribers, I was like, that's wild that 100 people give enough of a shit about what I have to say that they will hit that subscribe button. And, you know, on top of that, there's more people on the podcast. On the podcast, we have like 1,500 subscribers. And then on my website, there's about 3,000 unique visitors, like different people every single week that come to the blog. So, you know, such a crazy number of people, way more than I ever thought. And again, I just want to express my love and my gratitude towards all of you for being here. By the way, if you've never checked out my podcast, like I said, I really recommend you go and listen to it. It's all the same sort of like content that we talk about on the main channel, like, you know, how to invite girls back to your place, how to be ambitious without struggling, should you change yourself for women, like when you're approaching that you might be so close to a breakthrough moment and not every rejection is the same, why gratitude is life-changing, you know, abundance mentality. There's a lot of stuff that's like very similar to the YouTube channel, but completely different content. And you might say like, why do I have a podcast if I also have a YouTube channel? Because if I have a podcast, guess what I get to do, ladies and gentlemen? If I'm on the podcast and I'm recording a video for that, I get to go like this. And I get to sit here in the dark without having the camera on, without having the lights on. And this feels so much more intimate. Doesn't this feel more intimate? It also is so much more relaxing for me. It is so much easier for me to record a podcast than a video because there's this sort of not performative, but when you know that you're on camera, you do sort of, you got to dress yourself up. You're aware of like looking into the camera. Like if I don't look into the camera on a video, it will look weird for you guys. You'll be like, why is he not looking at us? It's weird that he's like looking at his notes the entire time. And so even right now, I've just turned the lights off. This is so much easier for me to talk right now. So that's probably the main reason that I have a podcast, is so that I can record some chill content without sort of having to think as much. So I really like the different feel of a podcast versus a YouTube video. It's probably something that most of you have never ever thought about. I know that I had never thought about any of this shit until I actually started doing my own content. You never really think about how it might feel for the content creator themselves. Like you're not sitting there thinking about like, what is it like for Andy to record a video? What is the process like? Is he nervous? Does he ever like feel like he's not doing a good job? Which the answer is yes. On this video, I feel like this is not my best work. Obviously, I'm very tired and scatterbrained and I didn't prepare for this. Like you never actually think about what it would be like for the content creators. So yeah, a little bit of a tidbit there for you guys and girls. I also have, if you haven't ever checked it out, my blog at killyourinaloser.com. I have tons of articles and guides and, you know, lots of stuff on here that you won't see on the other channels, so go check that out. I've got hardcore guides on here. Obviously, I have the hardcore like Tinder guide, which is just massive. The depression guide is absolutely massive as well. So if you're feeling depressed or any of that sort of stuff, but I obviously started out writing articles, and there is like, I don't know, 500 Actually, I don't think there's that many. I think there's like 300 articles, which is a hell of a lot. There's also, if you know where to find them on that website, there are my sex stories and all of my pictures and videos and cool little stories that I've written about girls that we have dated, and, you know, videos and stuff like that that we've shot together. And it's all very tasteful. Most of it is artsy nudes and all of that, but that's a lot of fun. So you're welcome to go check that out too. A big part of the reason why I'm recording this video today in the format that I'm recording it, where I'm just sort of, you know, scatterbrained, it's all over the place, and I'm just sitting down, you know, talking to you guys, is I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself over the last, like, I don't know, month or two, that, like, I've put this pressure on myself that my content has to be, like, highly edited and, like, well put together, and, like, I can't have any pauses and I can't make any mistakes. And whilst that can be, like, fun sometimes, like the femdom and the male dom videos that I just showed you on the screen, those are pretty highly edited. You know, I've got, like, text on the screen, I cut out all the boring bits, like, they're pretty good. And I like doing that style of content, but at the same time, I also enjoy just sitting here in front of the camera and talking to you, and, you know, just hitting record, and whatever happens, happens. It feels like I'm able to think through my thoughts a lot better. It feels a lot more intimate, like you guys and I are just sort of hanging out. It feels like we're more on the same page. And I really do like that feeling. So I plan on, or I want to, or I'm going to explore both of those. You know, like, how this channel was built was me essentially just sitting down and hitting record. And I think that's a big reason why most of you are here. And at the end of the day, I'll phrase this in a nice way, but I care less about why you're here. This is going to sound like a really weird thing to say. I care less about why you're here, and I care less about what you want. I care more, I'll be very honest, I'm very selfish. I care about what I want. I'm only doing this channel to make myself happy. It's literally why I'm here. The reason that I share with you guys and girls and give you advice and try and change your lives is because it feels good for me. I'm not doing it for you. I don't know any of you. And even the ones of you I do know, again, I'll try and phrase it in a nice way. And I hope this comes across like that, but I'm still only helping you because it feels good for me. I'm not altruistic. I don't believe in pure altruism. I think the only reason that we help people is because it feels good. And I think that's a beautiful reason. But yeah, to get back to the original point, I want to go back to the kind of content, or I want to give myself that permission to do more of the kind of content that I really like, that I like to do, which is sit in front of the camera and just talk. And it won't always be perfect. And I think embodying that idea of it not having to be perfect, you know, I talk about all the time, give yourself permission to suck. Showing you guys that feels a lot more authentic to myself, because I don't as much enjoy the highly edited content. I really don't. I don't feel like it gives me the room. And this is, again, something that you won't think about until you become if you become a content creator. Knowing that a video is going to be edited and that I'm going to cut out all the mistakes, it puts you in a completely different headspace, because you'll, like, say something and maybe it won't be perfect. And so you'll just re-record it, knowing, like, you'll have another attempt, almost like different takes in a movie. And so I'll do that knowing the first take is going to be edited out. And it means that I can just keep saying the same thing until it's perfect. Or I can have a long pause where I sit there and think about what I'm going to say and make it all perfect and make it eloquent. And that might sound good. And for certain pieces of content, that's perfect. Like, if I'm doing a guide, I have quite a few guides on this YouTube channel where it's like, here is your guide to erectile dysfunction. Here is your guide to, you know, losing weight. Here is your guide to depression. Here is your guide to femdom. For those ones, yes, I want those to be highly edited, because, you know, you're going to sit down and consume that as if it's like a how-to instruction manual. You want that to be, or I want that to be, reasonably well edited, and, like, no gaps and no pauses and no silly stuff. But for the rest of the content, where I'm just sitting here talking about a philosophy or telling you some advice that I hope will help you, when I'm doing that, if I know that it's going to be edited, I literally am then more focused on being perfect. And ironically, that puts me in my own head and I'm not able to think as well. The philosophy doesn't come out with the same heart that it might if I just sit here and talk without any editing, or without, you know, knowing that it's going to be edited afterwards. And so I feel like I lose a lot in certain videos if I know that I'm going to edit it, it doesn't come from the heart. It doesn't have that same love and passion attached to it. I don't have a chance to really tee off and hit a home run because I'm sitting there trying to make every single, micro swing absolutely fucking perfect. And I just don't enjoy that as much. It's the same, to give you guys an analogy. It's the main reason why I don't encourage you to be pickup artists. And when I say pickup artists, I mean, the kind of pickup artist who's trying to say the perfect pickup line to a girl and who's basically rehearsed it. And he's like, okay, I got to say this. And then if she says this, I should say this. But then if she says this, I should say this. It's like you're trying to pre-plan like the perfect conversation. And it just comes across as like robotic and fake and forced. And more to the point, when you try and be perfect, and I did this myself for quite a long time, I was trying to be the perfect pickup artist. I was trying to always have the right thing to say. When I was doing that, I was so stuck up here in my own head because I was thinking, okay, she just said this, fuck, should I say this? No, that's not right. No, you're supposed to say this. Oh, fuck, was it that? Was it this? Like, I'm just overthinking everything, and I'm not present with the human being that is in front of me. I'm not having a conversation. And so I feel like the same thing happens with my content. If I'm sitting there going, this has to be the perfect piece of content, it's going to be highly edited. I'm only going to say things that are really life-changing for the audience. I'm never allowed to have any down moments of thinking or any of that. It has to just be like a perfect fucking video. Absolutely amazing. I'm in my own head and I'm not actually enjoying the process of teaching you or something, or enunciating my thoughts, or trying to get across the philosophy that I'm trying to get across. So I'm too worried up here, worrying about the post-production and how will I edit this and how will I make it perfect. And I'm actually missing the heart of the damn thing. And so, just like with the pickup stuff, the thing that's really helped me the most and helped a lot of my clients over the years is to just say, what if you give yourself permission to suck? Like, what if you don't have the perfect pickup lines with this woman? What if you were just a boy that liked a girl and you just walked over and told her that? What if you were just a humble boy and you're just like, hey, I'm just a humble boy and I like you. I think you're pretty. What are you doing today? What are you up to? Can we talk for a little bit? Like, what if you just do that? And I found my clients, and definitely myself, obviously, when I started doing this, just have such unbelievably authentic, honest, connecting, intimate conversations with people that they're hitting on, or people or friends at parties or whatever, strangers at parties. You have such a better connection, we've found, if you're just honest and you give yourself that permission to suck. So that's something I'm embracing more in my content. Now, for the next couple of weeks, I do have a whole bunch of content that's scheduled that, some of it is highly edited. So yeah, but after that point, I'm still going to do, like I said, the highly edited content when it's applicable. Like if it's a guide or a how-to video or something that I feel like I want to condense it and just be like bullet point after bullet point and super dense. But for most of the content, it's going to be me, just a boy sitting in front of a camera, just trying to help you guys and girls. Because at the end of the day, that's what I am. I think I've been putting this pressure on myself to be something that I don't think I want to be. I don't think I want to be that highly edited, highly fucking perfect YouTuber with like jump cuts and like text on the fucking screen and like music playing in the background and like transitions and like like highly energetic. It just doesn't feel authentic to me. It feels like I'm putting on a mask of trying to be someone else, and it's not the kind of content that I like to watch. I actually, funnily enough, like watching some guy just sitting in front of a video and just talking and just being authentic and honest. It was kind of what helped me with my self-improvement journey. Chris from Good Looking Loser, he would just hit record and sit in front of his crappy webcam with his crappy audio, and he would just ramble for an hour. And I felt like that was a safe space for me, away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and away from the hustle and bustle of the rest of the internet. And it was like this nice safe haven. And I have so many different podcasts that I go and listen to. Probably the best example is the Lex Fridman podcast. And Lex Fridman is just this guy who has, like 3 million subscribers. Not that it's just about the subscriber count. And he will just literally sit down and do these like 3-hour long podcasts where he just talks to somebody and they just have these like amazing conversations. I love the Joe Rogan podcast for the same reason. It's just two people sitting in a room chatting about whatever comes up. So I'm not saying I'm going to have 3 hour long videos, but embracing that side of myself that I really like, which is just I sit down and hang out with you guys. And, from time to time, I will get a comment from someone saying, oh man, who has time to listen to a 1 hour video? Then don't listen to it. Like, at the end of the day, I think you guys and girls know that you won't listen to something you don't want to listen to, but that is the kind of stuff that I like to do. So embracing more of that. On that note, on the note of giving yourself permission to suck, I've spent probably the last, look how imperfect I am. I knocked the microphone on camera. I've spent probably the last week trying to come up with like the perfect video idea for hitting 5,000 subscribers. I got Imogen to help me brainstorm a bunch of ideas. We did a bunch of research. I asked Cam, my assistant coach, for a whole bunch of ideas and to give me different, brainstorm ideas. And I was putting all this pressure on myself that, I had to have the most crazy, grand, over the top 5K celebration ever. And I ended up just feeling paralyzed by all the different choices. And I was like, I don't want to do any of this. And I put it off for like I've known we were going to hit 5,000 subscribers. And I've put it off for like a week or so of just like not recording this video because I knew that some of them would be huge editing jobs and they would take forever. And we came out with some like grand ideas of like how to celebrate. And in the end, I just sort of gave myself this permission to suck. And that's obviously what this video is here now. The point that I want to underline is that something is better than nothing. So, anytime you're in your own life with your own goals, feeling overwhelmed by the different choices, maybe feeling overwhelmed by all the work that you feel like it's going to take, just give yourself that permission to suck that we're always talking about. Take one little baby step towards that goal every day or most days and just sort of be okay with the fact that it might suck, right? It's like you can improve over time. So progress, not perfection. I obviously did the same with this video here today. I was like, just get something out, man. Even if it's not the greatest video ever, even if some people are like, bro, this video sucks. What a waste of my time. You just rambled. Cool. Great. That was my journey. That was my stepping stone on the journey of getting to a point where I can be more eloquent on camera. I can be more comfortable. I'm still on this path just as all of you are. Progress, not perfection. One final thing I will talk about. So I don't think I've done, by the time this video comes out, I wouldn't have. So I haven't announced this yet, other than on my website and on the forums. But if you sign up for coaching right now, instead of 12 weeks, you get 18 weeks for the price of 12. So 50% bonus. You're literally going to be in the coaching program for 50% more. It's an insane fucking deal, but only if you pay in full. Also bear in mind, I am about to put the price up. I may even do it today. Actually, I tell you what, I'll leave the price as what it is. So it's currently $10,000 US. I will leave it at what it is for the next 3 weeks because this deal is for the next 3 weeks. So if you sign up in the next 3 weeks and you pay in full, I will give it to you at the current price and I will give you 18 weeks of coaching instead of 12 weeks. I'll probably do an announcement video. I guess you can say this is the announcement video, but maybe this is just a secret little announcement for those of you who stayed to the end. I appreciate you. Like I said, it's only if you pay in full. There's a link in the description below. We just had a couple of other people sign up, and that's been a ton of fun. At this point, I tell you what's really interesting to me. So what I coach people on has obviously changed as I have changed. We are now at a point, and this feels so fucking awesome to be at this point. We're at a point where like 50% of the people that sign up are signing up to start a business or to make money or to get into content creation or to start coaching. How fucking cool is that? When I first started talking about like business and money and shit, I had this dream of like, man, imagine if one day somebody would come to me and ask for help on starting their own business. That was like a pipe dream. I was like, maybe we're like 5 years away from that point. But at this point, we've had like 15 or 20 people that have come to me for that. It's so fucking cool. I really love this shit because I get to sort of push them and get them to do things that I didn't do in my first like 2 or 3 years. Like, to be clear, a big part of the reason why the YouTube channel has taken a while to really get going and why my own financial, side of things has taken a while to get going was because I was doing my best, but there are a lot of things that I could be doing better. And it's really cool having clients come to me and be like, okay, do this, and you'll save yourself like 2 years of not making money. And like we've had guys come into the group now. We have a couple of guys that are starting or have already started a YouTube channel and they're making money from that. We have a guy that wants to make money through guitar, like playing guitar and teaching other people and all of that. We have a guy that wants to make money through photography. And one of my challenges, and any of you can just take this challenge as well if you want, but one of the things that I give, the challenges that I give to people when they sign up for the coaching, if they want to make money, is I'm like, right, in the 12 weeks of coaching, you need to make at least $500. You can probably make that in 2 weeks if you really hustle, but at least $500 in 12 weeks. And it's been so fucking cool seeing some of them hit that, because it's like, guys, that took me like probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years to earn that much money. Like, mostly because I wasn't trying and I didn't know what to do and all of that. And that's part of the coaching, right? It's like, hey, do this and you'll succeed in 1/20th of the time that I did. But it's just been so fucking cool seeing people come and like their mind like opening up as to what's possible. Especially the guitar guy. Like the guy that we've got in there right now, he only signed up like a week ago and he's already made like, I don't know, like $20 or something from guitar, from just going out to random strangers and being like, yo, if I play you a song, will you give me $5? And going to his family and friends. If I write you a song, will you give me $5? If I record some music and give that to you, will you give me $10? Like just asking people for money and starting that process of the hustle. And I think often when we're starting a business or we think about starting a business or starting a YouTube channel, we set the bar so insanely high for ourselves. You know, we're like, how will I ever get to a point where I'm charging $1,000 for my guitar lessons or something? And it's like, bro, humble yourself. Start out by doing a few for free. Or do a few for like $5 or $1 or something. So any of you, you know, even if you don't sign up for the coaching program, just take that little lesson. If you've been thinking of starting like a business or thinking of starting like a YouTube channel or something, start really humbly and do a couple of jobs for free, get some testimonials, and then just charge $1. When you earn that $1, okay, that's now permission to earn $2, to charge $2. Once you've earned that, okay, now I can charge $5. You just slowly put your prices up. So again, baby steps. Give yourself permission to start really humbly and give yourself permission to suck, and then just slowly raise your prices over time as you get more confident, as you get more competent, as you have more of like a history or a resume or a portfolio, I guess, of testimonials and things like that. So yeah, as I was saying, if you want to sign up for the coaching now, 18 weeks for the price of 12, link in the description below. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and crush your goals and give yourself permission to suck while you do it.